Do you want to speak English more confidently? Today, I will share with you one of the most powerful techniques to improve your speaking. English shadowing practice. Many English learners know a lot of grammar and vocabulary, but when it is time to speak, they feel nervous, or their mind goes blank. Some learners translate in their head before speaking, and that makes them slow and less confident. The good news is, shadowing practice can help you change this. It trains your brain to think in English, copy the rhythm and pronunciation of native speakers, and speak more naturally. In this episode, I will explain what shadowing is, why it works, and how you can practice it step by step in your daily routine. I will also share some useful tips about thinking in English, listening and speaking, and building confidence. At the end, I will tell you where you can find a free practice exercise with text and audio on my website, speakdom.com. So, let's get started with the shadowing technique. First, what exactly is shadowing? Shadowing means listening to a speaker in English and repeating what they say at the same time, almost like an echo. You listen and you copy, word by word, sentence by sentence. You do not wait for the speaker to finish completely. You try to speak along with them, following their rhythm, their intonation, and even their pauses. That is why we call it shadowing, because you are like a shadow of the speaker. Now, why does this technique work so well? There are several reasons. Number 1, pronunciation and rhythm. When you shadow, you are not just reading words from a book, you are copying real speech. This helps you train your mouth, your tongue, and your ears to work together. You start to feel the natural rhythm of English, the stress on certain words, and the music of the language. Number 2, listening and speaking connection. Many learners only listen, or only read, or only study grammar. But shadowing connects listening and speaking at the same time. When you listen and immediately repeat, your brain becomes faster. You do not have time to translate into your language. You must think in English right away. Number 3, confidence. At first, you may feel nervous or slow, but after a few days of shadowing, you will notice that your tongue becomes quicker, your sentences become smoother, and your confidence grows. It is like training in the gym. Every repetition makes you stronger. Shadowing is also very flexible. You can do it with short dialogues, with podcasts, with YouTube videos, or even with songs. The important thing is to choose material that is clear, natural, and not too difficult for your level. If it is too fast, you can start with slower audio and then move to normal speed. Let me give you an image. Imagine you are walking beside a friend. They are leading the way, and you are following just one step behind. That is what shadowing feels like. You are never far behind, but you are also not ahead. You are right there, walking with the language. Now that you understand what shadowing is and why it works, let us talk about some important tips that will make your practice more effective. Shadowing is powerful, but if you use it with the wrong habits, you may feel frustrated or even give up. So let me guide you step by step. Tip number 1. Think in English. Many learners make the mistake of translating in their head. For example, they hear a sentence in English, they change it to their native language, and then they try to translate it back into English. This process is too slow. Shadowing stops this habit because you must repeat immediately. But to make it easier, you should also practice thinking directly in English during the day. Start small. When you see an object, name it in English. When you want to express a simple thought, try to form it in English. Little by little, your brain will stop relying on translation. Tip number 2. Listening input. Your speaking will only be as good as your listening. If you only listen once a week, your brain does not get enough exposure. Think of listening as food for your language brain. You need input every day. It does not have to be hours. Just 10 to 15 minutes of listening to clear, natural English can make a big difference. Podcasts, YouTube videos, or even short dialogues are perfect. The more you listen, the more patterns your brain collects, and these patterns will come out when you speak. Tip number 3. Speaking output. Listening alone is not enough. Imagine someone who only watches football but never plays. They understand the rules, but they cannot kick the ball well. The same is true for English. You must open your mouth and speak. Shadowing is one way, but you can also record yourself, talk to a friend, or even speak to yourself when you are alone. Do not worry if it feels strange. Every minute of speaking is valuable training. Tip number 4. Confidence. This is maybe the most important. Many learners know the words and grammar, but they are afraid of making mistakes. Remember this: mistakes are not the enemy. They are part of learning. When you shadow, do not try to be perfect. At first, you will miss words. You will be behind the speaker. You may feel your pronunciation is not good enough. That is okay. With practice, your brain and mouth will improve. Confidence grows when you practice daily, not when you wait until you are perfect. Here is a little secret. Even advanced learners continue shadowing because it keeps their speaking muscles active. Just like an athlete continues to train, even after they reach a high level, you also need to keep practicing. Shadowing gives you daily exercise for your English. So, remember these 4 things. Think in English, listen every day, speak regularly, and practice with confidence. Together, these habits make shadowing more than just an exercise. They make it a lifestyle for your English growth. So, what exactly is shadowing? Shadowing is a technique where you listen to a short piece of audio in English, maybe one sentence or a short paragraph, and you immediately repeat it out loud at the same time as the speaker. You are not just repeating the words, you are copying the speed, the rhythm, the pronunciation, and even the intonation. It is almost like becoming a mirror of the speaker. Why does this work so well? Because it combines listening input and speaking output at the same time. When you only listen, you understand, but you do not train your mouth. When you only speak, you often feel stuck and make mistakes. But when you do shadowing, you connect both skills. Your brain hears natural English and immediately practices producing it. Over time, this makes your speaking more automatic and natural. Let me give you a step-by-step guide that you can follow every day. Step 1. Choose a short text or audio. It can be from a podcast, a YouTube video, or even a simple dialogue. Do not choose something too long or difficult. A short piece, maybe 20 to 30 seconds, is perfect for beginners. Step 2. Listen carefully 2 times. Do not speak yet. Just focus on listening. Try to catch the main ideas, the tone, and the pronunciation. Step 3. Start shadowing. Play the audio again and repeat at the same time as the speaker. Do not worry if you cannot copy every single word perfectly at the beginning. Focus on staying close to the rhythm and intonation. Step 4. Repeat the process. Do the same piece of audio several times. Each time, you will notice you are improving. You will catch more words. your pronunciation will sound better, and your speed will become more natural. Step 5. Reflect and practice again. After a few rounds, pause the audio and try to say the same sentences alone, without listening. This will show you how much you have remembered and how natural you sound. Now, many learners ask me, but what if I do not sound perfect? What if I make mistakes? Here is the important part. Mistakes are not a problem. Shadowing is about practice, not perfection. Each time you shadow, you are training your brain and your mouth muscles. The more you repeat, the more confident you will become. And do not forget, when you shadow, you are not only learning words, you are learning the music of English, how native speakers stress certain words, how their voices go up and down, and how sentences flow together. This is what makes your English sound natural, not robotic. Now that you understand the basic steps of shadowing, let us go a little deeper. Shadowing alone is powerful, but if you combine it with some smart habits, your progress will be much faster. Here are 5 extra tips to make your practice more effective. First, start thinking in English. One of the biggest challenges for many learners is translation. They hear something in English, then translate it into their native language, then translate their answer back into English. This process takes time, and it makes you slow and less confident. Shadowing breaks this cycle because you are directly repeating English without translation. To make this habit stronger, try to describe your daily activities in English inside your head. For example, when you are cooking, say to yourself, I am cutting vegetables. I am boiling water. The more you do this, the faster your brain adapts to thinking directly in English. Second, balance input and output. Some learners listen a lot. They watch movies, listen to podcasts, read books, but they rarely speak. Others try speaking, but they do not spend enough time listening. Both are important. Input is what you receive, like listening and reading, while output is what you produce, like speaking and writing. Shadowing is special because it connects both. You listen and speak at the same time. This is why it is such an effective shortcut to fluency. Third, build your confidence step by step. Think about confidence like building muscles in the gym. You cannot expect to be strong after one workout. You must train regularly. At first, you may feel nervous, shy, or uncomfortable hearing your own voice in English. That is completely normal. But every time you practice shadowing, you get a little stronger. Do not compare yourself with native speakers or advanced learners after only a few days. Instead, compare yourself with your past self. If today you can shadow 1 minute more than yesterday, that is real progress. Fourth, use real-life English. Do not limit your practice to textbooks or artificial examples. Try to shadow real conversations, interviews, or even scenes from your favorite TV shows. Real-life English has natural rhythm, intonation, and expressions that you will not always find in textbooks. When you shadow this kind of material, you start to sound more natural yourself. Finally, make shadowing a daily habit. Consistency is more important than perfection. Even 10 minutes a day is enough if you do it every day. Do not wait for the perfect time or the perfect material. Choose something short, practice today, and repeat tomorrow. After a few weeks, you will notice how much smoother and faster your speech becomes. So, remember, shadowing is not just repeating words. It is a full workout for your brain, your ears, and your mouth. With these extra tips, you will make your practice stronger, more natural, and more enjoyable. So, let us quickly review what we talked about today. Shadowing is one of the most powerful techniques to improve your English speaking. By listening and repeating at the same time, you train your brain to think in English, improve your pronunciation, and build your confidence step by step. We also talked about some important tips. Start thinking in English to stop translating in your head. Balance input and output. Practice every day like going to the gym. Use real-life English and focus on small daily habits that bring big results over time. Now, here is the good news. You do not have to practice alone. I have prepared a special exercise for you on my website, speakdom.com. There you will find the text and audio for today's topic. You can listen, read, and repeat to practice shadowing step by step. This will make it much easier for you to apply what you learned in this episode. So, after you finish listening to this podcast, visit speakdom.com, go to the practice section, and try the free exercise. It is simple, clear, and designed to help you speak more naturally and confidently. And finally, if you found this episode helpful, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video with your friends, and leave me a comment about your experience with shadowing. I always love hearing from you, and your feedback helps me create better content for you. Thank you so much for watching and practicing with me today. Keep going, keep practicing, and remember, your English will improve step by step if you stay consistent. See you in the next episode.